This bracelet is your personal thermostat, the Wave 2 by Ember Labs. But $300 for a bracelet that promises to make you feel cooler when you're sweating and warmer when you're shivering without even touching the thermostat? Sounds like pure sci-fi, right? Well, the Ember Wave 2 just landed on my wrist, and I've put it through its paces in freezing grocery stores while sleeping at night, on sweltering summer sidewalks, and even through a couple of 3 a.m. hot flash simulations. So, does this thing actually hack your body's thermostat, or just your wallet? Well, let's see. You crack open the sleek box, and inside you're going to find the Wave 2. It's a compact watch-sized device, and it's got a magnetic charger that snaps onto kind of like Apple's old MagSafe, and there's a quick start card. You clip it onto your wrist, and two small buttons sit discreetly under your palm. There's no fussy touch screen. There's no screen here. There's no blinking carnival lights screaming for attention. The Milanese loop feels genuinely premium, like a high-end watch strap, just like my Apple Watch, but it's noticeably lighter. Plus, the whole unit is water resistant, so a quick hand wash won't turn into a drama. Pairing it to the app took maybe 20 seconds. It just asked if I run hot, cold, or swing between both. I tap both because I'm the guy who's sweating after a gym session but freezing an hour later in the grocery store. The device itself comes in matte black or a stylish rose gold, adding a nice touch of style that easily blends with a smartwatch. I picked black to match my Apple Watch, and you have the same band, you can see. So, how does this thing work? So here's the clever bit. The Wave doesn't actually change your core body temperature. No wearable can. Instead, it uses a tiny patented thermoelectric tile to deliver rapid, precise bursts of cool or warmth to your inner wrist for anywhere from 5 minutes to a whole day or night. Why the risk? Because that specific patch of skin is packed with thermoreceptors that are constantly talking to your insular cortex. It's a part of your brain that decides if you're miserable or cozy. By stimulating those nerves with localized temperature sensation, your brain gets tricked into thinking that your entire body just stepped into a different room. Think of it as Pavlov for temperature comfort, but instead of a bell, it's a gentle, focused wave of coolness or warmth on your wrist. It's a brilliant mind-body loophole that leverages sensory distraction to calm your nervous system. So let's talk about the freezing grocery store test, because my trip to the grocery store always includes a dreaded detour down the freezer aisle. My fingers always go numb browsing the frozen veggies. Yeah, I like to try to eat healthy. And other shoppers are usually hugging themselves for warmth. Well, I double-tapped the warming button, I set the intensity to 4, and let it run on the standard 10-minute wave. Within seconds, the device pulsed a comforting heat against my wrist. It's kind of like holding a ceramic mug of hot tea, but without the mug. About 6 minutes in, the chill in my fingers dialed right down, and I realized that I had stopped clenching my shoulders. Did the aisle miraculously get warmer? No, come on. Did I stop rushing through my shopping list just to escape the cold? Absolutely. Score 1 for Team Ember. How about hot flash simulation? Now, obviously, I don't get hot flashes, but I had to see how this handled a sudden internal wildfire. I cranked the space heater under my desk until the thermostat hit a balmy 80 degrees Fahrenheit, then sprinted up 2 flights of stairs, the closest I could get to a sudden internal temperature spike. Heart pounding, I hit the cooling button, max intensity for a 3-minute session. The cool pulse spread from my wrist to my palm. My heart rate dropped from 108 to 88 beats per minute in under about 2 minutes. Subjectively, the wave felt like cracking a car window on a muggy day. Just enough refreshing air to keep that rising frustration from spiraling. My actual skin temp on my chest only dropped a minuscule 0.3 degrees Fahrenheit, yet the internal "I'm roasting" alarm quieted almost instantly. The mind-body loophole? It feels incredibly legit. The device doesn't prevent overheating, but it definitely reduces the perceived severity, which is a game changer. Now, sleep mode. I'm a notorious night sweater. So I was just curious about this feature, an 8-hour cooling session starting at 10 p.m. Well, I tried it out, and the first hiccup was I like to lie on my side. In doing so, pressed the device uncomfortably into my wrist. So I loosened the strap a bit, and that fixed that. But then I hit the second hiccup. Now the wrist strap was too loose and the device was kind of spinning around on my wrist. So I wonder if there might be a better type of strap for this, but it's worth looking into. Eventually I got it all nice and comfy, and in the morning my Apple Watch, my trusty sleep tracker, logged 19 fewer tosses and turns versus the previous week. Anecdotal, sure, but I'll take any night that doesn't involve kicking off sheets and yanking them back on every hour. Now, I don't get hot flashes, but clinical studies even show significant improvements in hot flash symptoms and insomnia for users. What about the battery? Well, Ember claims 15 hours of battery life. I squeezed about 16 across intermittent bursts. If you're like me and enjoy marathon 8 or 9 hour sleep sessions with it running, you'll definitely need to recharge daily. The magnetic charger, by the way, is fantastic. It just clicks right into place. The button presses are completely silent, so no one in the conference room hears you discreetly self-medicating after that boss drops an urgent deadline. So let's look at the pros and cons. Well, pros. Instant targeted thermal relief. Discreet, sleek hardware that looks good with a smartwatch. Clinically backed for hot flash aid and improved sleep. A long duration sleep mode that genuinely calms night sweats. Water resistant for daily wear. And absolutely no subscription required. Cons. That $300 entry fee is kind of steep. Overnight comfort can vary, especially with wrist size and sleep position. The battery demands nightly top-ups if you use it extensively. The wrist strap could be improved to prevent it from being too tight or slipping. And yeah, it's still a mind trick. Your armpits aren't going to measure cooler, only your brain thinks they are. So if you battle office thermostats, hot flashes, or those frustrating sleep roasting sessions, the Wave 2 is probably the most polished placebo reality hybrid on the market. Pricey? Yeah, it is. Life-changing? Honestly, it depends on how much you value not wanting to punch a thermostat or throw your covers off in a rage. And hey, drop a comment with your worst "I'm freezing" or "I'm melting" moment. We want to know about that. If this review impacted your purchasing decision, hit subscribe. I got more wearable tests coming.